I'm Tero, and I have a tarot deck.
Pick one.
When I first got to the US, when I told people that my name is Taro, I was mistaken for one of two things. One is the Asian purple potato named taro root. Two is the tarot deck.
The cards say we will be lovers.
All the hippies loved it because they're like, wow, your parents must be cool to name you a purple potato or a tarot deck. Either way, I always thought as a funny thing is that to eventually make my own tarot deck, and this year it became a reality. This year, me and Four Sigmatic launched the Spore, same name as this channel, a tarot deck. Let's take a step back. I actually believe in magic. I truly do. I also believe in science. And this is, I think, partly due to my upbringing. Growing up in Finland to an engineering and scientific family, I was into biology and hard sciences. At the same time, I was surrounded by a hippie community where we were doing all kinds of weird stuff. And when I was a kid, I thought these were kind of directly opposed to each other because the science world didn't accept the unproven hippie stuff, and I guess vice versa. But later in my life, when I lived near CERN in Switzerland and I met a lot of people working there, I realized that they're actually kind of the same thing. If you listen to hippies, they talk about the universe and vibrations and particles and this and that is also the exact same stuff as the most hardcore hard science people talk about. And if you isolate a really hardcore scientist who's very advanced, they will quickly admit a lot of things they don't know about because the science is not the truth, it is the pursuit of truth. And in that reason, you have to admit that there's a lot of things happening in the world that we don't have any clue of. I actually like to joke that we know as much about the world as you see of the Pacific Ocean from the Santa Monica Pier in California. You see very little and you know very little, or at least that's how I feel. I like the George Bernard Shaw quote, and that I'm going to butcher right now as an ESL kid. An unreasonable man doesn't adapt to its world. A reasonable man will adapt to its world. Therefore, all progress is dependent on the unreasonable man. And that's why I also think of magic and weird kind of fringe stuff is that they are kind of the way how the world progresses. A lot of things that was considered woo-woo or weird or conspiracy theories later turn out to be true. Not all of them, obviously, but a lot of do. And I think there's a lot of small signals that are in the world today that we just fail to acknowledge, including about ourselves. Okay, back to the tarot deck a little bit. So what does that all matter? Is I like to think of these things like tarot cards as signals to things we already know about ourselves, about the world in front of us that we just fail to ignore. Just like when you have a kid and you start seeing things from a first perspective, or you take psychedelics and you notice the little things. I think that we have this innate ability all the time, but we lack the ability to find those insights on a daily basis, and something like a tarot deck can help you with it. At the end of the day, it's tied to concepts that have been tried and true over the course of time. You might not realize, but the 4 suits in the tarot deck are different elements. And in a way, the numbers that the cards are based out of follow a hero's journey that we've seen to be tried and true over a long time. So in a way, it offers a lot of these storytelling or world universe language in different ways that you could marry with astrology and human design if you want, but they offer these tried and true ways about the world that we can then be reminded through the cards. But if you're not familiar with tarot decks, they all have a specific meaning, a specific energy, a specific message. And again, they're divided into these suits that follow a certain pattern that I'm not going to cover in this video because otherwise it would be like an hour and a half long. But the idea is that also in the mushroom and plant world, there are matching plants that have a certain energy. And in Ayurveda, you talk about certain elements. In traditional Chinese medicine, you talk about the 5 elements. So if you take any tarot card, you can match it with an herb or a mushroom that matches its energy. And that's exactly what the Spore deck is about. The major arcana is called a mushroom arcana, and it follows the big archetypal moments in life through the lens of a specific mushroom. And then the 4 suits are divided into different kinds of medicinal needs, from focus to calm, and they marry. Like calm is about our emotions and feelings, and focus is about material wealth, and so on and so forth. And then the cards are herbs that match that energy. The cards are also very beautiful, designed by Juho Heinola, who's also designed all my books and is an amazing artist. You should check him out at yuho.click on Instagram. The cards are pretty funny too. Is like the Fool is Fly Garrick. If you're familiar with Amanita muscaria, it's a perfect card for the Fool versus Chaga. The Emperor is like the masculine king of mushrooms. And obviously Destroying Angel is death, and Death Cab is a tower. If you're familiar with tarot cards, also very fun cards to compare the actual traditional tarot deck with Mushroom Kingdom. The deck comes with an instructional book that talks about each ingredient separately. It will tell about its health benefits, so it's also a fun way to learn about different herbs and mushrooms and what they can do for human body and human health. But also it tells about the traditional meaning of the card explained, so in a way you can also learn about a traditional deck through it. And then it talks about how to know when it's in alignment, when it's out of alignment, and how to bring it to alignment depending on if you do like past, present, future, or one card readings. You can kind of use it in different ways. But if you're familiar with tarot decks and you're interested in tarot decks, check it out. Right now, it's not currently for sale, so you can't buy it, but you can get it gifted. Energetically, I felt that was important. So if you buy certain Four Sigmatic products, you can get it for free. So check out foursigmatic.com, and if people love it, maybe we'll figure out a way to create more of these. We only made a few thousand of them in the beginning. Do you have a favorite tarot deck that you love? Let me know in the comments below. What's your favorite deck? There's a lot of beautiful ones. I'm always curious to learn more. If you go to foursigmatic.com, you can probably find them there in different bundles as a gift with purchase. So check it out and let me know what you think.